I don't think he's presidential. I don't think his behavior, rather, is presidential. I think the presidency is a statesmanship position, and I think he's worthy of being the president of the United States according to the voters. They have spoken. They spoke emphatically, not just in red states, but in blue states as well, in battleground states as well. He won. And why am I ticked off? Because it was emblematic of the climate that we've been living in for years now, which is why I believe Donald Trump was really elected. But woke culture, cancel culture, oh, hell yes, that played a role. Where you got people walking around wondering whether or not they're echoing the right pronoun, wondering whether or not that was going to cost them their job. Or being PC because, God forbid, your opinion is different than the average folk walking around in America. Lord knows what would happen to you. That's what America regressed to.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to The Right Point of View YouTube channel with your favorite host, Ashley, and I'm back with another reaction video, and this is another Stephen A. Smith video because, y'all, I've been agreeing with him more often these days, and I think we all know by now, deep down, he's absolutely a Republican. He's just fronting. He's like trying to come out of the closet, just hasn't quite got there yet, but he's well on his way. Stephen A. Smith fires back at Oprah again. I very much enjoyed his little lashings to her the last time. And not just that, but he calls out the Dems for their overreach and their just complete denial of where they go wrong and why they most likely lost this election. I mean, that amongst many other things. But I won't hold you. Let's get right into his take. The video starts now.
Smith Show. The NFL says they have no issue with players doing the signature dance of President-elect Donald Trump during their on-field celebrations. Players like Nick Bosa from the Niners, Raiders tight end Brock Bowers, and Titans receiver Calvin Ridley are just a few of the players that have mocked the president-elect's signature moves. Now, ladies and gentlemen, in case you haven't seen Donald Trump's signature move, even though he's the one doing it right there, right now, at UFC 309 at Madison Square Garden this past weekend, one of, if not the greatest MMA fighter in history, John Bones Jones, did it after defeating Stipe Miocic in the third round there with Trump sitting ringside. You saw it right there. Let me tell you something. Here's why I'm pissed off. That the NFL had to even issue a statement about it. Because celebrations usually don't warrant that. It doesn't require a response from the league. So why was it necessary this time? You know why? Because we got a bunch of people still living with their heads in the cloud, acting like they get to protest every little damn thing.
Exactly. And the Democrats are just amazing at this, just feeling like they can box you in to force you to not speak, to be censored, to be hush-hush about your own opinion. For years, people couldn't even be open about supporting Trump, even though they knew they were going to the polls to vote for him, even though they knew that they agreed with his policy and his ways of things, but they couldn't say it out loud because that is the stronghold that Democrats have on media, social media, even people like Mark Zuckerberg coming out and saying he was practically forced to, bend to their will. And as Stephen A. said, he's pissed off because have you guys learned nothing? Those tricks are dead. You are not going to bully people into being quiet anymore. The jig is up, period.
This is America. Donald Trump won the election, rather convincingly, I might add. Now, I didn't vote for him, and I've been on the record stating that. I'm not backing up from that. I didn't vote.
Listen, Stephen A., I think we all know by now, deep down in that soul, he's straight Republican. Every time he speaks, I just find myself agreeing with him more and more. And he's just saying everything that we're all thinking. You know what I mean? So he can stop pretending. Just come out the closet, Stephen A. Come out the closet. Encourage him, y'all. Tell him it's safe. He can come out the closet now. Unless, he's on payroll and maybe he just really can't. But I think we all know Stephen A. voted for Trump. Allegedly, okay? We'll put that out there just in case.
Because I don't think he's presidential. I don't think his behavior, rather, is presidential. I think the presidency is a statesmanship position. I think it's important to galvanize folks and to bring them together as opposed to contributing to divisiveness. But he won. And I have no problem accepting the fact that he won fair and square in romp-like fashion, I might add. And he's worthy of being the president of the United States according to the voters. They have spoken. They spoke emphatically, not just in red states, but in blue states as well, in battleground states as well. He won. There's no debate. There's no controversy. There's no anything. He won convincingly.
He annihilated that election, okay? Let's just call it what it is. He's saying the same thing, like he won. There is no debate. And we cannot keep allowing this party, the Democratic Party, to keep trying to penalize Americans. These people are not misogynists. They're not sexist. They're not criminals. They're not felons. I mean, some of them may be, but that doesn't represent that group. And they need to stop with it. It's not only dangerous, but it's not working. They look silly. You guys look silly and pathetic. You know what I mean?
So to me, that says that the American people have made their choice. I got news for you. Football players are usually American people. So are basketball players. So are UFC fighters. They got a right to support who the hell they want without the league needing to send in a response. I didn't see a response from the UFC. You know why? Because Dana White wouldn't entertain it.
Never, ever would he entertain that nonsense. He lets people be people, number one. Even people who, he like him and Stephen A. are actually pretty cool. I actually saw a video with, what's that guy's name? The annoying guy from Shark Tank. It's not coming to me right now, but anyways, they're cool too. But he's like dick riding Kamala Harris, and Dana White was like, listen, you're a smart man. You can vote how you want to vote. I still respect you as a businessman and all that good stuff. But yuck it. Dana White would never go for that. And I think we need more of that. You know what I mean? People who will stand on business.
Dana White would not entertain that because he don't play that nonsense. He's going to support who he's going to support. He's not going to apologize for it, as most American citizens should feel free to do.
Exactly.
And why am I ticked off? Because it was emblematic of the climate that we've been living in for years now, which is why I believe Donald Trump was really elected.
Yep.
Yeah, it was inflation. That was an issue. The economy, that was an issue. The border, that was an issue. But woke culture, cancel culture, oh, hell yes, that played a role. Where you got people walking around wondering whether or not they're echoing the right pronoun, wondering whether or not that was going to cost them their job. Or being PC because, God forbid, your opinion is different than the average folk walking around in America. Lord knows what would happen to you. That's what America regressed to. And because of that, I believe, is a big reason why Donald Trump on January 20th will be inaugurated.
100%. Not the only reason, for sure, but people are tired of this woke business, okay? They're coming after everybody with nonsense all of the time. We watched them publicly humiliate Trump, throw everything they could possibly throw at him, and the world is waking up. The world is very hip to the tricks now, and the jig is all the way up. They're not taking it anymore, and it's done. It's a wrap. Democrats need to find a new way to try to bully people, okay? Because that's not it anymore.
As the 47th president of the United States of America. I'll continue with that opinion in just a second, but I wanted to move on to this right here. Because did y'all see this report that Vice President Kamala Harris paid Oprah Winfrey's production company nearly $2.5 million for her support during the campaign? And this reports said the Harris campaign shelled out $1 million. However, two sources told the New York Times that Winfrey's production company was actually paid closer to the $2.5 million. That number pales in comparison to the estimated $1.5 billion that Harris and the Democrats spent in their failed campaign to win the White House. Why would that piss me off? Why?
Tell him, Stephen.
This is Oprah Winfrey we talk about. What the hell is your production company doing getting anything from the Harris campaign? This is the same Oprah Winfrey that has donated to Cory Booker's campaign in the past. Remember Senator Carol Moseley Braun? Oprah Winfrey donated to her campaign when she was running for the U.S. Senate. Remember when Barack Obama won the presidency in 2008? They said at the time reportedly that Oprah Winfrey's impact equated to more than 1 million votes in his favor over Hillary Rodham Clinton in the Democratic primary. So here you are, donating to Democrats all over the place, which, by the way, Oprah Winfrey has done for decades. You giving money. You giving money. Think about this. Remember Stacey Abrams in Georgia? According to reports, Oprah Winfrey gave her over $10 million. I've got the news right in front of me. The donations highlighting the things that she has done for candidates she has supported. What's the theme here, ladies and gentlemen? Oprah is usually doling out money.
Exactly. And why didn't she do that this time? Because she knew it would be a bad investment. She usually likes to bet on a winner, I'm sure, to see, if I'm going to be donating this money and I actually believe this person will take position, usually these donors get some pull after the fact. You swing some policy in their favor, some tax cuts, some this, some that. But she thought, Kamala, slim to no chance in winning, but I'll, host you for sure. But it's going to cost you because I ain't doing that shit for free. Oprah's a billionaire, okay? She's not in the business of just throwing money away. Crazy.
But now your production company is getting a piece, which is pennies to Oprah Winfrey. And she issues the statement talking about it wasn't to her, it was to her production team. And oh, by the way, they had to be paid. End of story. That is not the end of the story. That is not the end of the story. The fact of the matter is, your production company took when you have a history spanning decades of giving, not taking. Is it possible that you were taken because you had to be sold on supporting Kamala Harris? That the level of fervor that you had for all of those other candidates that you contributed to in the past far eclipsed the level of support that you really, really felt towards her?
Okay, Stephen A. Stephen A. is just like, he's calling them all out. And this is his second time calling out Oprah. And we all know what Oprah did. Oprah stood on stage talking about you have to go vote for your lives because it could be the last vote you ever cast. But turned around with an important campaign like this, as per her, and still charged Kamala to get that message out. You wouldn't platform her for free if you thought that this could be the end of U.S. democracy? It just shows all of these frauds and what they're about. Fear-mongering, no facts, and just frauds, honestly.
Why would I bring that up? Play that sound for me again with what Oprah Winfrey said the day before the election on the campaign trail for Kamala Harris. Could you play that sound for me again, please, to refresh everybody's memory? Play it again.
If we don't show up tomorrow, it is entirely possible that we will not have the opportunity to ever cast a ballot again. And let me be very clear. If you do not make sure that the people in your life can get to the polls, that is a mistake. Deciding not to decide, that is most definitely a vote to let other people control your future.
See that? You see it? Yes, she was trying to get people to go out to the polls, but we know who she wanted us to go to the polls to support. That was a scare tactic.
Boom! He said it himself right out of Stephen A. Smith's mouth. A scare tactic. And if she would reach that far into the fear-mongering bag to pull out some wonky ass statement like that to convince voters that it is so important for you to go vote for Kamala, why would you need to be paid? It is the million or $2.5 million question, according to Stephen A. Why did you need all of that money if you thought it was this important to go vote? It don't make no sense, right? Drop a comment below if you don't think it makes sense, because what are they talking about? Fear mongering. And it comes down to the fact that if you guys don't wake up now and look at these people for the frauds and dishonest, evil people they are, and you believe anything that comes out of their mouth again, it is your fault. Everything that comes to you after that is on you. Period.
Let's call it what it is. It was a scare tactic. We're suddenly going to be deprived of our right to vote if Donald Trump gets into office instead of this candidate. No problem. Sounds like a very fervent, passionate argument in favor of Kamala Harris. Then what the hell you need $2.5 million for your production company when you're worth billions? Take your time, I'll wait.
Me too. How much? Why?
You see, bullshit is bullshit. I'm not in any way questioning the contributions that Oprah Winfrey has made to the black community, to black people, to our society as a whole. She is the epitome of the American dream. She is marvelous.
But now we know it doesn't come for free. It's not without strings. And if she's donated previously, it's probably because they were a sure win and there was something for her on the other side. Kamala was a shot in the dark. And obviously she wasn't willing to take that risk, even though she made you, the American, believe that this is a vote for your life. How crazy is that? So I don't know, y'all. Stephen A, to me, hit the nail on the head. I think he continues to call these people out on the frauds that they are. And he called it. He said it straight, fear-mongering. How scary is that you guys would go that far to put fear into the minds of Americans to sway them your way? And the fact that not only did it not work, but Americans have spoken. The blue wall is no more. Counties that were once blue are now red. The jig is up. America is awake. Nobody's buying this crap. Anyway, I'd love to hear what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section down below. Please like this video. Please subscribe. It does help the channel. I would love to hear what you guys have to think about all of this. Is Stephen A right? Is he wrong? Should Oprah have donated the money, or is she within her rights to charge it? Personally, I think it was a bad investment. So from a business standpoint, I'd have charged her too. You know what I mean? But anyways, I appreciate you guys so much. Do like, do subscribe. Until next time, I will see you on the next one.